Welcome to another episode of the 10-Minute Land Surveyor. I'm Dave Woolley. Wouldn't it be nice if we knew what the future held, or if we had some insight to the future, whether it be interest rates or the stock market, or simply what kind of employee do I have, or what's their mental capacity? Well, today I'm going to give you a litmus test, and it's as simple as paint. Take a moment and look at the slide shown on the screen here. What you see is bright orange fluorescent paint on 400-year-old oak trees in a beautiful park setting. Yes, this is real. I jog in this park every Saturday morning, and I have for 8 to 10 years. And I was jogging along the path. I come around the corner into the area where we have all the oak trees, and I see paint everywhere. And on these trees, 400-year-old oak trees, paint. And this guy was so lazy, he didn't even bend over to paint it near the bottom. He just did it chest high. In this photo, you can see that they painted on the ground, said, wow, might not be able to read that. Let's go ahead and put some 12 to 18 inch lead numbers on the tree. And that's my at the time, 8-year-old son in the photo. And he says, Dad, why would anybody paint on the tree? And I'm saying, 8-year-old son, that's a good question. In this photo, you can actually see their control in the foreground, and then you can see the tree in the background. And all the trees were marked up this way. And, you know, I don't know why a surveyor would need a 12-inch by 12-inch orange paint marking a chiseled cross in the middle of a park. But this is a good test. What do you have? Of course, when I saw this, what I did was I contacted their employer. I knew the principals of that company, and I contacted the two surveyors, and I said, you have a problem, and thinking they should thank me, and thinking they're going to terminate this guy right away. Interestingly, what the employer said is, well, he's a good fella, and you know, he's a good construction guy. And I'm saying, whoa, contraire. I'm saying a good construction person has the ability to think. And not only do they have the ability to think, they have to have a common sense where there's a natural flow of things. And I would argue that somebody that would paint on trees in a park setting for a topo is not a thinker. So what you see in this photo is I happen to be friends with the director of Orange County Parks. And so I contacted her and I said, you know, we have paint all over these trees. Of course, she had a heart attack. And I said, you know, these people need to be terminated. Their contract needs to be terminated. These are a liability. You can't have people wandering around painting that has no more sense than this. They send out the crew to scrub these trees. And so what you see is on the left is you see the person scrubbing the trees the following week. And then on the right, what you see is you see a tree after the paint has already been scrubbed. That's about as good as it gets. I roll out there and I see this big guy out there scrubbing on a tree. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I got to go talk to this fella. And I'm thinking, am I going to have, you know, when you have somebody running on a deficit, I'm thinking, is this going to be the lovable, quirky, life goes on kind of guy that you kind of want to, you know, hug? Or is this going to be more like a Lenny of Mice and Men who's gonna choke on me? So, you know, I don't know. So I walk up to this guy and I say, hey, you know, what's going on here? And said, you know, I say to him, I say, you know, are you the one who painted these trees? And he says, yes, I am. I said, okay, is there anybody smarter I can talk to? And he's like, who are you? And he points me in the direction of the party chief. And if this is one of your employees, terminate them now. They have no future in our industry. What do you expect from this person going forward? You think they're going to go split some atoms, cure some cancer, or maybe even get licensed one day? Absolutely not. And so this isn't a one-off. I see this kind of paint everywhere. And I think that we can do better. If you have somebody that does this, it's trees today, you know, he's going to spook and run out into traffic, get hit by a car, or push somebody else out. There's no future for this person in our industry. And so you are given an opportunity to see this. And all you have to do is follow one of your crews around and you'll see, wow, this person has no future. Now, again, this isn't one-off. What prompted me to make this video is I was in the city of Long Beach the other day, beautiful downtown area. And you can see the building there, a brand new City Hall building. And right out front in the center photo, you see where there's a scribed cross with letters or numbers that are probably about 8 to 12 inches high, circled in paint right there. And on the right, that's the curb, probably about 6 feet away. And they painted 56 on there, and they circled it, and they painted down the face of the curb. And then about 6 feet the other direction was a front property corner, and they circled that up. So all three of these circles you see in this photo, those were probably 12 feet end to end, and the control point in the middle. Now I wonder, why would anybody ever do this? And if this is your crew, get rid of them. This is such a fortunate thing for you to realize what you have and to nip that liability as soon as you can, because there's obviously nothing going on there, and take the opportunity to correct up. And here's another example. We have nice stamped concrete in a downtown area, and these guys thought it was awesome to put a big old paint target out there for aerials. Now, if the plane goes by to snap a photo, okay, that photo's done. This target has been in that median so long that the washer shown on the right there is rusted. That thing, I've been looking at that aerial target on my way to work for no less than 4 years. And why AT6, aerial target 6? Does that mean anything to anybody? Is there any reason that has to be in 12-inch letters next there? Again, this is a litmus test. You get somebody who does this, and it makes sense to them, you really should get rid of them. They'll never be licensed. They're harm to themselves. And again, is it a Corky or a Lenny? You going to hug them or are they going to choke you? What's the alternative? Well, the alternative is paint pens. You see their paint pens. These are Dixon paint pens. I have one right here. They cost anywhere from $2 to $4 each. You can hear it. They have a ball in them and they shake up. And so you can take a paint pen and write on next to your monument your point number if that's important to you or you need that. And they write really nice. They last quite a while, and we buy them by the case you see there. So that's one of the things I'd recommend is a paint pen. Next, if that paint pen needs to last longer, or if even a felt marker such as a Sharpie like this, if you take this Sharpie and you clear coat it, just lightly mist it with this clear coat marking, that mark will last for a very long time. And all of our trucks have lots and lots of clear coat in them. As you see here, I have the same thing shown in the photo. So we like to use clear coat. What other alternatives do we have? Well, we always have Keel, lumber crayon or Keel. And the only thing about Keel, especially if you have these folks that don't really think about what they're doing every day, you don't want to eat it because it'll kill you. That joke makes me laugh. Okay, so you have somebody, they're on the bubble, their IQ's bouncing around 65, 68. It's your son-in-law, you can't get rid of them. Okay, stock your trucks with chalk. The chalk will come off in less time than the paint. Stock white chalk and tell them you don't need to circle it. You don't need to write all over the curb. You don't need to write the point numbers. Just a little bit of spray as you see here next to the monument. Even if you wear glasses, you can see that. That's the alternative. So in closing, use the paint, follow your crew around and watch them, and you can predict the future. You'll know that that person will not be licensed. You know that that person is a danger to you. It's a danger to your business. It's a real liability, and there's no place for them. If you choose to keep them, you're responsible for anything they do. In closing, put away your clown shoes, pack away the mini bikes, and take the paint away from the irresponsible people. Thank you, and have a nice day.